Hello my friends, and welcome to a roundup of my favorite things from 2024. It is my goal with this list that I can maybe help you find some things that will make your life easier. Like these items have made my life easier or better in some way this last year. So what I decided to do was to go back and look through my purchases from the last year and share the best of the best with you. A lot of these are from Amazon or can be purchased from there. We definitely sent a lot of orders that way, especially after we moved and we were getting everything set up. Don't get me wrong, Amazon has a lot of faults, but the convenience is definitely a benefit. So I will have links below, but let's get into different things that made my life better in 2024. Also, I just came back from a walk, so I feel like my cheeks are a little red. The wind was chilly today. So I have these categorized into 4 very broad categories for the most part. We've got home goods that we'll start with. We've got some health and beauty, which is definitely not like an area I'm very good at. We've got hobbies, and then we've got cats because there were some really good cat purchases this year. So let's get into it. Let's start with home goods. I did share a few of these purchases throughout the year as I got them, but let's get into them. The first thing is bath sheets. I didn't realize when I purchased these bath sheets from IKEA that they are sheets and not towels, but now I can never go back to bath towels because bath sheets are so large and amazing, and I really like the IKEA ones that we got because they have a bit of a like waffle pattern to them, a waffle knit. I don't really know what it's called. They are really warm. They actually soak up water. I really enjoy them. I just wish that IKEA made them in more colors, but they make them in my favorite green color, like my bedding here and my curtains, so I'm not too mad about the color that they do have. Next up for me, now this is definitely a high ticket item, but it is something I do not regret purchasing, and that is a robot vacuum. We bought the Narwhal, I'll definitely leave it linked below. I think it's called the Frio something or other, and it has been really helpful for my life. It makes me feel a little bit high maintenance with the fact that we have a robot vacuum, but because we have a long-haired cat that sheds a lot, and 2 of the cat's favorite people in our house are allergic to said cat, it's very nice that we can get this vacuum going and reduce the cat hair in our house. So I like to get it going ideally in the evening, kind of after I've closed up the kitchen and stuff. We use it on our main floor with our kitchen, mudroom, bathroom, Jared's office, living room, entrance. It goes over all of that. And I do not run it every single night like I'd like to, but it does involve some pickup, which is actually really good. I want to get better, especially with the Christmas holidays. I kind of slacked at not doing it as much, but I want to get better at doing it every night because I love the fact that it makes me go around and pick up some random junk that I have lying around on the floor. Then when I get up the next morning, my main floor is really clean. Definitely do not regret purchasing it at all. We got one that vacuums and mops. At first I thought the mop feature I wouldn't really like because it wouldn't work very well, and I had low expectations for the mop feature, but I'm so glad that we have it. Some days I just run the vacuum, and some days I do the vacuum and mop, and I've really noticed that our floors in this house, they show like footprints super easily, so it's really nice to run the mop multiple times a week. And it's always good to do like a bit of a deeper mop, but having this be like a regular thing keeps my floors much cleaner than they would be if I didn't have it. And one of the things I like about the height of the vacuum is that it goes underneath my couches, no problem. It's really good at going around furniture. It really gets into all of the places that a normal vacuum wouldn't get without me moving everything, which I wouldn't do on a normal basis. So I'm so happy with that purchase. It was expensive. I bought it on sale, but it's been totally worth it. Another thing I got for our floors this year were rugs. So we started out upstairs in our loft getting a ruggable rug, which I suspected would end up on this list, but I'm not going to put it on this list. What I am the most impressed with is I bought 3 rugs around Black Friday for one for our entrance, one for the mudroom, and one for the living room. And they are machine washable. And I think the entrance and mudroom ones I paid like $40 or $50 for. And the living room one is much bigger, and that one was $150. They are really cheap compared to the Ruggable rug that I paid $450 for, I think it was. Definitely, I will leave these linked below. The ones that are in the mudroom and entrance, at first I was a little worried because we came in with snowy boots and the water pooled on top. And I was like, oh dear, if they're not even gonna like soak in any of this water, what is the point? But I just washed them and now they soak up water, no problem. The one in the living room is so soft, I love it. And the other day, the cat threw up on a rug and I was like, oh, it's okay. Clean it off and then toss it in the washing machine. So easy. It makes my life less stressful. I don't have to worry about my rugs getting dirty because they're so easy to wash. Revolutionary and affordable too. This year I went and bought myself a handheld steamer. As someone that hates ironing, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. The reason I ended up purchasing it is because my curtains in the downstairs for the winter time, they wrinkle really easily. And I did start by ironing them, and then I was like, this is a hassle. They're kind of getting wrinkled while I'm doing it. So I bought a handheld steamer. I could steam them while they're up, and it made such a difference. And now I'm like, anything else that I need to iron, just steamer for me. So mine is very portable. You can take it on a trip. Would I ever take it on a trip? No, I just tend to take things that don't really wrinkle, but you could. And so maybe one day I will. But it made me feel very much like, you know, an adulting win to purchase a steamer. Another vacuum related thing, this year we bought new filters for our Dyson stick vacuum that we have. I really like it, but it wasn't really working for a while, and we realized you could buy new filters instead of just, I mean, we do still clean them, but we could interchange them, and then it worked so much better again. I do think that maybe plug-in vacuums work better than cordless stick vacuums, but we don't use plug-in vacuums. Like, my kids do not like to use it. They're the ones that are on vacuum duty. I don't like to use it. So if we're not using it, it's not really a good vacuum. So I like our Dyson, and since we got the new filters, it's been working really great again. So definitely recommend, if you have one of those, check out to see if there's like filters that work for yours. It helps keep our floors cleaner, and so I appreciate that, especially like I said, with a cat and cat hair, and it's really nice to have my floors as clean as possible. Another one of my more recent purchases was my KitchenAid mixer. I bought this a few weeks ago, shortly before Christmas, and I'm so glad I did. I used to have one, and then when Jared was diagnosed with celiac, it just wasn't really working, but now we have more people in our family, and the gluten-free recipes have evolved into much better recipes, and we have made so many cookies in the last little while. I've been making bread because it's been cold. When I made bread the other day, I didn't change anything other than using the KitchenAid to mix it, and my bread was so much fluffier, which for gluten-free bread, like, that is what you want. So I was very excited about that. We also did purchase separately, it's not KitchenAid brand, but it is a paddle mixer that has a spatula on the sides, because that's one thing, especially with gluten-free stuff, that doesn't stick together as much. But I did notice this in my other KitchenAid when I was cooking with gluten and baking with gluten before. It was really hard to get to the bottom of the bowl, and especially the sides, and so this additional paddle really helps scrape it out much better. So definitely recommend both of those if you cook for, you know, a couple people. It's worth it in my mind. Makes things faster, makes me enjoy my time in the kitchen more. As someone that's in the kitchen a lot, it's really nice to have. So I'm glad I decided to jump back on the KitchenAid wagon. One of my favorite Christmas gifts I got, a couple Christmas gifts will end up on here, it's over there. I got a candle warmer. So it is just a lamp that warms the candles from above. You get the smell of the candle, but you don't have to worry about a flame. And as someone that often has forgotten over the years to blow out candles, this is a really good purchase. This gives me peace of mind. Plus, like I said, we have a cat, and I'm always worried that the cat or some kids are gonna knock over the candle. And now with no flame, this is great. Plus, an added benefit is the candle warmer does not go through the wax nearly as quickly as a regular burning candle does. I've really noticed a difference. I have not actually figured this out, but my guess is the candle would last like 5 times longer with a candle warmer. So if it's a money thing, in the end it will end up saving you money because you don't need to buy as many candles. Now my only thing is I need to buy more candles to have some different scents, but I really enjoy my candle warmer. One of the things we purchased for my 14-year-old that she's been using a lot is a tiny Pomodoro timer. So this one, depending which side you flip it on, it pops up with the amount of time that the timer is going to be going. Because the whole Pomodoro method is quickly do something for a bit and then switch tasks to something else, I like that the timer is so easy to use, so easy just to flip over to the 30 minutes or the 5 minutes or whichever one it is and use it very easily. I hear the timer going off in her room all the time, so I definitely think she's enjoying it. 2 door related things this year that we got. One is a doorbell camera that was kind of part of the contract when we got our house. I'm not sure it's something I would have thought to pay for, but would I have actually done it? It might have seemed a little bit too high maintenance again, but it was one of the things that we got to throw in, and so we did, and I'm so glad we did. It's really good when receiving packages. Things don't have to sit outside. We can just go grab them. It's really good when we're away and we can see if someone is coming to the door or if a package has been left and we're not home, we can get someone to pick it up for us. I have been really impressed with the whole idea of the doorbell camera. We use it a lot more than I would have thought, and it's just something that has really surprised me. And then going hand in hand with that, this year we got a door keypad lock, so the kids can unlock the door with a code instead of needing to carry a key, which is really good because if you know kids, they forget things, they lose things. All the time at the bus stop I see kids dropping their house keys. That is so much more dangerous. So I'm really glad that we have a keypad and the kids can memorize the code, and then when we go for a walk we can easily lock the door just by pressing a button. You don't need a key. Another one of those things that seems a little bit more high maintenance, but it really pays off. And the last one for my home purchases for the year is, I don't even know what they're called, but I'll put up a video so you can see. But these are these scrub pads that I have been using for dishes and cleaning different areas of my house. I love them. I got one for Christmas actually a couple years ago from my parents, and I've just been purchasing them like mad this year, partially because we did so much more cleaning because of moving, but I find I really like them for the dishes because they give that extra grit that is needed to get dishes clean. And I went through my Amazon affiliate information and I saw that out of your guys' top 10 purchases that you purchased using my links that were non-bookish, because there's a lot of books purchased using my links, these scrub pads were one of them. And so I know that I'm not the only one that has enjoyed them. Okay, now we are on to health and beauty. Not really generally my area, like I said, but there are a few things on here. First of all, right before Christmas, I purchased for myself a portable flat iron. This is something I've thought about for a long time. I really like the flat iron that I normally use. It's a Chi one that I got for Christmas. It's very good. But I knew that we would be waking up at 4 in the morning to go visit our family for Christmas because it was a 5.5 hour drive. I knew I wanted to wake up at 4, shower, get everyone in the vehicle so we could leave for 5. But I like my hair to dry before I do anything with it. I generally curl it like it is. I just knew the timing wise it wasn't really gonna work out. I don't really like to blow dry my hair. So I bought this portable flat iron, and in the van while we were driving, I curled my hair. It does not get as hot as my regular flat iron, but it did the trick. I used it the whole time that we were gone, and it comes in a cool little case as well, so it's easy to transport. It's rechargeable. I really can't say enough good things about it. This is gonna help me so much whenever we go on trips again. It's so compact and it works well enough. Really like it. Kind of kicking myself that I didn't buy it a long time ago, but I'm glad I have it now. Kind of definitely a health and beauty thing is fish oil pills. I have told you guys already over a few videos, I think, that fish oil pills seem to really work for my body. They've helped with my headaches. They have helped reduce my acne. One of the best things I did this year was start taking them regularly. And the last thing in this category, I told you, I'm not really a health and beauty person, is the Palmer's lip balm. So I accidentally stumbled across these at the Dollarama a couple months ago, and I've just been loving them. I'm the kind of person that puts lip balm on like multiple times a day. My lips never get dry because I'm always slathering them. But this Palmer's, I think it's coconut. I just love it so much more than the stuff that I used to use. I'm hoping I can continue to find it. It looks like a glue stick, which kind of cracks me up a little bit. I'm a little worried sometimes that I'm gonna use the wrong thing on my lips, but I really love how it feels. It keeps my lips nice and moist. Really highly recommend it if you haven't used it already. Next is hobbies. Now, I am the kind of person that has a lot of hobbies. Obviously, I like to read. That is a big one of mine, but I have hobbies other than that. But we're gonna start with reading. One of my favorite purchases this year has been the Kobo. So I bought this for myself after Black Friday, or on Black Friday, because it was on sale and I'd been eyeing it up, debating between the Kindle and the Kobo. Landed on the Kobo for now, but probably will also buy a Kindle at some point. But there are so many benefits to this. It has made me enjoy reading ebooks, which I didn't think would ever really be a thing. I love the device. I love how it feels, the page turning buttons, etc. I'm honestly going to be doing an entire video talking about my favorite features and tips and tricks of it over on my booktube channel next weekend. It should be up on Sunday, so I'm not going to talk about it, rave about it too much right now, but it is going to change my reading life. I love that I can get library books on there. Yes, definitely glad I finally purchased one. I said there was going to be another Christmas gift that I got that I wanted to share, and this is the puzzle board. So I got a puzzle board with 4 drawers. I have never done a puzzle as fast as I did the first one after we got home from seeing our families. I did a 1,000 piece puzzle in 2 days. Unfortunately, I found out it was a 999 piece puzzle. That's what happens when you do them from the thrift store. But this made puzzling so much better. As someone that has kids and a cat and doesn't have a big enough table just to leave a puzzle out, this is really helpful because I can just put it underneath the couch when we're not using it. It comes with a little cover over top, so even if something or someone goes underneath the couch and tries to mess things up, it's not really possible. I love the drawers for sorting pieces. I did the 1,000 piece puzzle, that was 999 pieces, and we just finished a 500 piece puzzle of our cat from when he was a kitten. My parents got my daughter a puzzle made of him, so that was cute. That was the first time we've actually finished that puzzle, and the puzzle board is a big part of that. So easy to transport. Like, it is large, like it's not like you're gonna take this along with you on a trip, but it's so easy to transport your puzzle partially completed. So very excited about that. Winter is my puzzling season, so I will be doing multiple puzzles, and this will, I think, give me a boost to do even more, because I don't have to worry about leaving it out and having it get bumped. A few years ago I tried the roll-up puzzle method, didn't really like that, tried a few tweaks, it just didn't really work. The puzzle board, if you are into puzzling, if you do more than 2 a year, look into it because it's really, really helpful. Mine also has, it's on a Lazy Susan, so it spins. Jared put that together for me. I think I'm gonna take that off because I think it's easy enough to just rotate the board, and right now it's rotating when I don't want it to. So if you get one, I would suggest trying it without putting the Lazy Susan on first, just to see if you would actually want it or not, because I think we're gonna take that off. This year I finished up with my first pocket notebook. Now Amy, my friend here on YouTube and Instagram, she inspired me for this and I loved it. It was so much fun. Shared a video about halfway through the year looking inside my pocket journal. I'm starting a new one for 2025 because I enjoyed it so much last year, doing a few tweaks, doing a different notebook, but really enjoying it. And it was such a great memory keeping system for me this last year. If you've never kept a small pocket journal, I would highly recommend it because it's not overwhelming like a big journal is. I had a lot of fun with it. This is not my hobby, but this is one of the gifts my son got for Christmas. One of the things that he's been loving is the Super Slide puzzle. I heard about it from my friend Bonnie. Her homeschool channel is Dwelling Logs. She talked about it a long time ago and it's always been on my radar. And this year my son got it, and Christmas Day, Christmas Day with my family, he got a bunch of different toys. But that is the thing that he gravitated to all day. When we took our 5.5 hour trip back home, he was doing that for a good portion of the time. I love that it's like tactile, it's magnetic, so you can take it along and things aren't going to get bumped. But it's got a tiny little bit of tech in regards to the fact it has batteries that shows you how to set the puzzle up. So glad he loved it so much. Okay, now we are going to round things out with the cats section. If you don't have cats, you don't need to watch this. Thanks for joining me. But if you do have cats, I have 3 things that have made life with cats easier this year, in addition to the robot vacuum, but these are like cat specific things. The first one is cat pheromone spray. So when we were trying to sell our house and also when we were traveling out here, we would pack up the cat in his little carrier and he would meow and meow, and I was like, there's no way I can do an 8.5 hour drive with his cat meowing the entire time. So we found this cat pheromone spray that you spray into the carrier, I think like 10 or 15 minutes before you use it, and it's supposed to help calm them down. And boy, it works. He didn't meow like the entire time we drove out here, which was amazing. When we got here, understandably, he was a little bit on edge, moving to a different place. So they also have these plug-in ones that seem to help calm him, not quite as much as the spray did while driving, but it was really good for the first couple weeks that we lived here. We plugged one in on each floor of the house, and I think that helped him. Definitely the spray helped a lot. The second thing is we've tried, first of all, let me premise this by saying our cat is not normal. We have looked things up. It says like, you know, cats are supposed to want you to play 10 or 15 minutes a day and then be happy. No, ours wants 10 or 15 minutes each hour. And he loves Jared the most. And when Jared's working, he would often just meow outside his office door. So I want to say that we give our cat a lot of attention. Okay, minor kid interruption. So yes, okay, he gets lots of attention, but he needed something when we aren't available, or, you know, in those other 45 minutes of the hour, or sometimes at night, but mostly we've got him trained to sleep or be quiet at night. So we got a laser that is really good. You turn it on and it's got different speeds. It's got a great pattern. First of all, we tried a different one earlier in the year and it kind of just spun in circles and did a few different things. It wasn't as interesting. The one that I'm going to share is one that he really loves, and I think it goes for 15 minutes and then it turns off, and then every 2 hours, if it's activated by someone or the cat walking by it, then it does another 15 minutes. It's rechargeable as well, which is great, and I really like this for some of the times when we're gone, if we're traveling and we're not home overnight, gives him something to do while we're not around. He loves this thing. He often goes crazy for it. I tried to get a couple video clips of him doing it for this video. Didn't really get much, but trust me, he really loves it. Sometimes he will sit in front of it and meow if it isn't during the time where it's gonna like automatically turn on and he wants us to turn it on. He knows and he likes it. And then the second thing is an electronic ball. So we got one at the beginning of last year, I think, and it worked well for a little bit and it died. But I think it was a dud, so we got a replacement. That worked well for longer, but then it died. Then they came out with the second version, which is what we have now. Oh my goodness, we spend way too much money on our cat, but I guess he's worth it. The second version is amazing. It is very similar to the laser that we have, except it rolls around, it's got different speeds, and it also will, if it hasn't been played with for a while, it'll kind of go into a sleep mode, and then I think in an hour or so, I don't remember the exact times, it will start up again and go throughout the house. There are times where he will just run after this thing around the house, or he sometimes likes it if we put it in a box and he can bat it around. He will sometimes pick it up in his mouth and carry it to different places. If it's dead, he'll pick it up and carry it to us to get us to charge it. This second version also beeps if it gets stuck or if the battery's dying. The stuck thing is really huge because the first version that we had, we lost multiple times for a period of time because it would die somewhere and it would be like under the couch that you can't really get under or something. One time we told the kids $1 to whoever can find this ball that we'd been looking for a long time, and they found it a little faster. But definitely the second version I would highly recommend. He just loves that thing. It's another thing that he will like sit there and meow for if it's not currently in use. Okay, so that is my list of life-changing purchases. Everything making life a little easier, a little better, a little bit more enjoyable this last year. I would be so curious to hear what kinds of things you guys would put on a list like this. I don't intend to influence you to purchase all the things. I feel like there's a whole list of things I could give for you guys to not purchase. Maybe I'll do a de-influencing post at some point, but these are the things that I feel like were worth the time and the money, so hopefully you find the same. Thanks for hanging out with me, and like I said, tell me your favorite purchases of last year.